Hello and welcome to Bleeding Tree Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warp Fiend, and I am joined by...
Hey up me ducks, I'm Tammy, aka Autumn Witch.
And in the last part of our Vanguard Age of Sigmar reviews, we're getting to Death and Destruction, and we're going to combine these into one because there's only 3 of each of them. We're going to start off with Soulblight Grave Lords, and I think this is an absolutely brilliant one.
Yeah.
You've got fairly much all new models. The Vargeists, I believe that's the newer kit. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know Soulblights that well, but I do know the Blood Knights, having just painted up a bunch of them, and I do know that that's an absolutely beautiful kit that you definitely want at least one of in your Soulblight army.
And I would suggest that viewers go and watch your videos on it because they are absolutely fantastic.
Yep, so you also have the Death Rattle skeletons, and you've got 20 of these.
I mean, it's a classic. You know, you can't have a tabletop fantasy game without some cool skellies, and these look...
Yep, these
awesome.
are the ones that came out around the time of Cursed City. And yeah, they're just really nice, like kind of armored skeletons. Basic troops that you're gonna want a bunch of, even if like you're not using this for a Soulblight Gravelord's army. If you just want to have some cool skeletons, I think this is a really nice selection of kits all told.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, the only thing it's lacking for me is like a sort of big centerpiece, but
yeah,
you get a lot of stuff in there, and like 20 skeletons, that's not to be sniffed at.
Nope. Right then, so I'd say this is like a high mid tier, not top tier maybe, but it's a good place to start if you want Soulblight Gravelords. Your add-ons will then be all your vampire characters and your big stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the second of the death ones, and that's the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. And now, I don't know much about Ossiarch Bone Reapers, but this is a good-looking box.
Yeah.
27 miniatures.
You got a big dude and plenty of in there.
27 miniatures, so this puts it in a tie for the largest amount of models with one of the ones we've already done. And you've got a selection of everything. You've got all your troops, you've got your cavalry, you've got your big models. I do not know the name of any of these. The Mortisan Soul Reaper, that's this guy, yeah. And then what's the Harvester? The Gothizar Harvester thing, which is just an awesome model.
Yeah.
Now, I know that this is kind of covering all of your kind of starter ground. There's a couple of models that you'll definitely want to get after this. Being obviously I'm having a brain fart here. Catacross, yes, I couldn't remember his name. Catacross is definitely going to be like big on your list. And you might also want to grab some of the artillery pieces. I believe it's the Bone Claw catapult. But other than that, this is a great place to start. And I'd say this is an absolute top tier starter set.
Yeah, it's well balanced. You get a lot for the cost.
Yes.
I would be tempted by this if I wanted like a death army.
They are cool. They're not for everyone. A lot of people don't like the kind of bone golem thing. They prefer like actual skeletons, but you want Soulblight Gravelords if you want to go for that, I think.
Yeah.
Or go for the old world and Tomb Kings, which are coming soon.
Oh yes.
Last up on the death ones, we have Nighthaunt, and it's good. There's some great models in here, but there are much better places to have got all this. I don't know if you'll still possibly find any of last editions of Age of Sigmar's starter sets, the start collectings, There was the whole, I can't remember what it was called, but the Age of Sigmar Partworks magazine from Hachette. Yeah, because what you've got is a lot of basic guys,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of basic guys. You have nothing really bigger. You have the guy, you know, the leader,
You know,
the
we
Knight
should
of
rename
Shrouds.
we
Yes.
should rename this whole series Two Middle-Aged Women Forget What Everything Is Called.
That might very well be a more fitting title. Age of Sigmar it is quite bad for some of the Warhammer names in that, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's a Grimghast Reaper, of course. A Chain Rasp. It's not really descriptive. It's like IP copyrightable.
I do miss the simplicity of the fantasy battle naming conventions.
Yes, they were always very, very easy to work out. They were just
Like
done by
orc
kind of
with
tier.
axe, or orcs with bows, or elves with whatever.
Yeah. I will say there's a lot of models in here. They're all great looking models. I think the
Yeah.
oldest one in there is the Spirit Host, which is a pain to build, but they look absolutely great still.
Yeah.
But nothing really excites me here, and you can probably get all this stuff still from other places, like scour eBay. There's bound to be lots of stuff from last edition left over that you can pick up for cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the issue with the overall look of Nighthaunt for me is that there isn't that much visual difference between.
Yeah. A lot of the troops tend to look like that, and it's because they were developed from this idea that came out of the older Ghosts, and particularly the Spirit Host. So people would just have an army that they would just speed paint just by giving it kind of like a ghostly blue wash over the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it's the development of that idea, but they're very samey, but if it's an aesthetic you like, they're great to have. Well, that's all the death ones then. So we'll move on to destruction. And first up we have Doomflight Gits. And this is just classic Gits, really.
It is.
You've got a bit of everything, and it could be a bit more focused because people tend to run their armies as, like, you know, it'll be a squig focused army, or it'll be a Troggoth focused army. And this is a bit of everything, which, yeah, if you're completely new to the army, this would be a great place to start. You certainly get enough of everything. You get 10 squigs, you get 20 of the let me just double check that. I believe you get 20 of the Night Goblins.
Yeah.
The Moon Clan Stabbers, sorry. And as well as the Loon Boss, which is just a classic model.
Yeah.
So
this also feels very fantasy battle as well, because there's not been much change in the Night Goblin aesthetic.
You could absolutely use all of this stuff in the old world.
Yeah, it just feels like there's so much continuity in these models from like what came before.
They were so well designed before. They didn't really need anything more than just a quick refresh, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say this is a fantastic place to start. You've got loads of stuff going on, but it's maybe not quite competitive by itself. Maybe you want to focus more on one aspect of the army.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have the Ogres, and bless them, they're trying.
They are trying.
Those old Ogre models have given a hard lifetime service, and they're good models. They're a great kit that's been around for donkey's years now, and I think everyone's got some bits from them if they've been hobbying long enough.
Yeah, I've got a whole box of them somewhere.
You have the Riders and the Cavalry, which are currently called... Oh, it's the Iron Blaster and the Mournfang Riders, sorry. Yeah, they're fairly new, I think. compared to a lot of the stuff. I believe that was 2000. No, it must have been before 2010. So, probably showing its age a bit, but still looking pretty solid on the tabletop. But what you do have is the brand new Tyrant, and yeah, this is a really great model. So I'd say they're dated models, but if you want to get into it, then this is a solid place to start, really, and good selection of stuff you'd want. I do think they've suffered a lot from the ones with the stone horns. I forget the names now. I've completely forgotten the name of everything. Apologies. The last edition Start Collecting was really good, I thought. And I think this is a bit of a downgrade, but it's got a good solid starter set.
Yeah. And those models are fun to paint, even if they are a bit dated.
Yes, yes. So last of all, we've got a bit of an odd one, which is the...
It's got a big boy.
Yep. It's the Auric War Clans one. And it's, well, they call it Auric War Clans. Actually, it's Cruel Boys. And Cruel Boys are the main villain in this season, in this edition. So you have a lot of better places to get these models. As we always talk about, the basic tiered starter boxes generally give you a much better deal than getting a Vanguard box that has the same stuff in it, just because you get 2 armies in that, and you usually get around about the same stuff. I can't see there being any reason for this box.
Yeah. It kind of feels like something they've just bung together.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a lot of
having one.
I think in 40k, some of the Space Marine boxes felt much like this. There's just no reason for its existence other than to just like get new people who don't necessarily know what's available there. But you want to look at the Start Collecting boxes, the new Partworks magazine that's coming out. That's going to have a lot of Cruel Boys stuff in it. Yeah, there's a million different places you can get these models for cheaper. Great models though, and if you were forced to and you didn't have those other options, it'd be a pretty solid start for an army. Right, well, that is all of the Death and Destruction Vanguard boxes. So I think out of those, Ossiarch Bone Reapers is probably the top tier for me.
I would say, yeah, definitely for Death. But if we have a look at the Gloomspite as well for Destruction, I would say that is the best of the two.
No disagreement from me on that at all. Right, well, we've been Bleeding Tree Gaming. We hope that's given you some useful advice on starting your new year, new army.
Or at least you've been amused by 2 middle-aged women forgetting what everything is called.
Oh dear. Well, I've been Amy, and I've been joined by...
me, the Autumn Witch.
Yes, that's your name. Right. We will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you all soon.
Facebook! Find us on Facebook.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.